I do remember one particular pinch me moment was in Amsterdam at the Heineken Music Hall with Joe Satriani and Sonny Landreth. I'm playing, Joe's playing, and Joe leans over to me and kind of shouts to my ear, goes, I don't know what to play after that. And I remember just thinking, Joe, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm even doing here.
It's the Blues Rock Show with Pete Francis.
Welcome to the Blues Rock Show. Pete Francis alongside blues rock guitarist Davy Knowles. Coming off of an album at the end of 2024, The Invisible Man was voted to Blues Rock Review's top 20 albums of the year. Davy, how you doing?
I'm all right. Yourself?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you.
Oh, lovely to be here.
So let's go back to the beginning, Davy. When you started on guitar, what was the spark that got you going?
Oh, gosh. Well, music was always playing in the house. My dad played. So that was kind of early memories, you know, always listening to him play. But what really kind of kick-started the catalyst was Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. I was in the car with my dad, and he played that on cassette tape, and it was game over, really, from then on. So,
moving to today, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is it feels like music is such a singles world today. And many artists are releasing singles and music videos pretty much every month. And you know, back in the day, there seemed to be more time and there was a little more mystery around an artist, you know, pre-social media. Now that artists are releasing music and singles so frequently, do you feel that that has made music more disposable?
What a wonderful question. Yeah, I do. And I think I'm not naive enough to discount the fact that there has always been a commodity element to the recording industry. Making a product, selling a product, cold terms like that. That has always existed since day one. But now, yeah, I feel like there's a flood and a pressure. And yeah, I do think that there is a watering down of things in order to fire things out there and to remain competitive and all of those business kinds of things.
So let me ask you this question. What's more valuable today for artists, getting their music played on the radio or getting on Spotify playlists?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask for this because I'm not particularly great at either. It's really hard. I'm a bit of a dinosaur, and I would love traditional radio and the human element of that. When a really good DJ, there was a guy growing up for me called Andy Kershaw, who was a BBC radio DJ. And what was wonderful about Andy was he would play things that were accessible and great hosts, but he would then take that and say, well, yeah, if you like Eric Clapton, then listen to this and listen to that. And he was all encompassing, wasn't reined into any one genre, and was a host for discovery. And it was such a human thing, and he was opinionated and brash and all of those things that come with that. But you discovered so much because of that. I don't think algorithms do that in the same way as having someone on the airwaves that you trust and admire and like and connect with. You just get bombarded with things on the internet. And sometimes you get lucky and something wonderful happens. And sometimes it's just noise. And I'm a bit of a dinosaur in that respect. So I would like to make the case for traditional radio, but I'm probably in the minority.
How do you discover music today?
Well, through friends, through talking about it, through liner notes, the old-fashioned way, and also creature of habit, just going to a record store and flicking through things. And that looks interesting.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, we touched on your new album at the beginning of the interview. There's a song on the album called Around Here. And that's probably my favorite song on the album. It's got a killer riff, catchy chorus, really great song. What was the inspiration behind that song? Because it's been doing really well for you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. We were on the road, and I shan't name names as to where we are, but it was a little, little questionable, the neighbourhood that we were in, and it was actually a day off passing through, and so it was this kind of conflicted idea of, gosh, I'm not sure I feel particularly comfortable where we're at, but in the same breath, being sensitive to the fact that this is someone's home, and people grow up here, live here, love here. This is absolutely, home for people, and the idea of just kind of being, you're passing through and being respectful, but at the same time, watching your back ever so slightly on that. So it was this kind of conflicted idea, and also places that get forgotten about by their own, by counties and councils and all of these kinds of things. We don't worry about that bit, and it was kind of sad to see that in action, and you often do, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah, you've released music independently. You've also released music on record labels. To you, what are the plus and minuses there?
Well, I mean, the plus is with labels, often you inherit what they are good at, and what, helping push things, connections, all of that side of things. Again, I'm the wrong person for all of that. I'm rubbish at that side of things. And that can be beneficial, but then you lose some sort of, I don't know, control to some degree, and an artistic control. You feel like you have to appease, or it's for a reason, and I don't particularly like making music with those parameters. It should be honest all the way through to the end, I think.
Was that a big struggle for you on labels?
Yeah. I have found that there's definitely been, I'm not sure about this. What about this? How about we do it like this? And I go, yeah, I would like to try all of that, but ultimately, I also want to make sure that what I'm doing is what I'd like to be doing, and I like to stick to that.
Yeah. I know that Rory Gallagher is a huge influence for you. What do you think made Rory such a special player?
Probably just what we were talking about, which was maybe his the Achilles heel as well. He's so celebrated and should be, but I feel like he should be up, further. But he really stuck to his guns, and he was single-minded in his vision. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go with it, and I admire that greatly. I admire how unique he was, and for me, growing up where I did,
And for those who don't know, the Isle of Man.
The Isle of Man, which is a Celtic nation. It's not England. It's its own little thing, and it's got much more in common culturally with Ireland. And when I heard Rory play, I could hear all of the Celtic inflections that I had kind of heard growing up on the Isle of Man, and so it was revelation. Wow, I didn't know you could do that. So I love there's that slight twist to it, that made me feel I could relate to it.
Yeah. Mark Knopfler is another one
Yeah.
who really influenced you. What drew you to his music?
Oh gosh,
And
the
his playing.
melodicism. I mean, you could hum, even when he's improvising, you can sing every note, and isn't that gorgeous? And the way that it's totally and utterly, it's inseparable from the song. It weaves in and out, and it's just the most beautiful thing to me.
You've gotten to play with a lot of greats over the years. What's the biggest pinch me moment that you've had on stage?
Oh, God, I've been really lucky. Gosh, well, long time before, I was in Kansas City with Peter Frampton and Sonny Landreth, and Peter had asked me to come and sit in on his Guitar Circus tour, and B.B. King was on the bill as well, and that was absolutely nuts. I do remember one particular pinch me moment was in Amsterdam, the Heineken Music Hall, with Joe Satriani and Sonny Landreth, and Joe had called Sonny and I up for an encore, and I remember playing rhythm guitar, and Joe's playing rhythm guitar, and Sonny is doing the most, incredible thing that Sonny does.
Some amazing slide.
Oh my God! And I'm playing, Joe's playing, and Joe leans over to me and he kind of shouts to my ear, goes, I don't know what to play after that. And I remember just thinking, Joe, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm even doing here. It's beautiful. I've been very lucky, very lucky.
Is there someone that you haven't played with that you would want to share the stage with?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. There's plenty. There's loads. I'm a huge Richard Thompson fan. I'd love to do something there, but all sorts of people. But when it comes down to it, music is such a people thing. It's such a social thing, and so my answer would be anyone. Doesn't matter whether they are a hero or someone I just met. The idea would be to play music together and have fun doing it. And that would be my answer.
Davy, what's a big challenge that musicians face that maybe the average fan isn't aware of?
Finding time for things. Finding time.
Well, and you have kids, young kids.
I have three amazing daughters, and yeah, that is also the thing. There's kind of there's a lot of hats to wear, especially now, and even, I've been doing this for quite a long time now, but it has changed immeasurably in that time, since 2007-ish when Backdoor Slam came out. It's just a completely different ball game. So all of the different hats you have to wear. There's the business side of things, agents and promoters and labels and that side of things. There's the social media whole thing and trying to create content.
Content.
What a word, and all of that. And then,
Davy Knowles, content creator.
oh my God, I'm not that man. I'm not that man. I try really, really hard, but I'm not that person that can go and do fancy dances on TikTok or anything like that. And then, there's the touring and stuff, which is the wonderful part, and the recording. And somewhere in between all of that, you've got to try and write something meaningful and play. So it's finding time to wear all of those hats and to try and be all of those people. And that is probably the biggest challenge for me.
Do you find that the pressures of social media impact songwriting and being able to really focus on songwriting?
Yeah, I think they do. And I think it's important to note that, how beautiful a thing it can be. Again, that the people side of things and the community side of things, what a beautiful, amazing resource it can be from a heartwarming aspect, not just resource, sell my stuff,
Well, and also
It's
connecting
not that.
with people and fans from the entire world.
What a gorgeous door to open. What a wonderful thing. Not just from a commerce and cold promotion kind of a thing. It's just on a human level, lovely. But yeah, it takes, you think of, should I be making this video? Should I be doing that? Or should I be using that time to try and play and sing and make something and do art, And I'm sure a lot of folks feel the same way.
If you weren't a musician, what do you think you'd be doing?
Good Lord. I'm glad I am one, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You never had a plan B. It was always music.
Yeah. It was just, I never had a plan B. I don't know. I think I would still be on the Isle of Man, and I would be grateful for that as well, just as much. It's a wonderful place, but I think I would probably still be there. And I would be doing something music. I have plenty of friends over there that make a living out of music in that world over there. Or I don't know. I would try and find a way to be in it still.
Obviously, we're catching you on tour. Do you have any memorable road stories that you'd like to share?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You're bumping into all sorts. I remember. I don't know. We did a mad. We opened up for Hanson once, at Antone's, the old Antone's nightclub, and for some it was part. I don't know if it was part of a festival. I can't remember. But Hanson were there, and out of nowhere, Arlo Guthrie comes into our dressing room. And then shouts at us because we won't let him smoke, and he thought that we were Hanson. And I thought that was wonderful. And I just didn't have it in me to... we didn't say anything about, you're Arlo Guthrie, you do what you want. It wasn't us that told you what to do. But that was quite an eye-opening moment. Yeah, I don't know, there's been quite a lot. I'm very, there's been...
Are you a Hanson fan?
They were ever so lovely. I'm not saying my wife is a big fan of Hanson, but I'm probably, I don't remember buying the records.
Yeah, I remember them being very, very popular growing up when I was young.
They were a whole movement.
Yeah. Well, Davy, this has been really great. Anything else you want to share? Any news? Anything going on that you want to tell people about?
God, I'm a horrific salesman. But it's just, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for all of the support, and I just count myself very lucky to still be doing it.
Davy Knowles, I'm Pete Francis. This is the Blues Rock Show. We'll see you on the next one.